We got Macy Chiasson back here on the program, who's going to be taking on Sarah Moras on short notice at UFC Ottawa on May 4th. Macy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, James?
I'm doing awesome. It's good to see you again. Of course, your last fight, I was there live. Great performance over Gina Mazany. And one of the things I wanted to ask you was, I know after the fight, you mentioned about being able to go back home and take some time off. Did you get to do that? Because I know as a fighter, the mentality is, I got to get back in the gym on Monday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I trained a little bit here and there, but I had such, and it was such a long and extensive camp because, just because of the weight drop and we had to be on point with everything. But, we have everything down to a science now. But, yeah, I was able to go home and enjoy a little bit of time off just for a few days long, because you got to get back to work just like anyone does for any job. So.
What was the feedback like after that win? Because not only did you get the victory, but it was a quick one. It was a highlight reel finish. I know people were impressed with your UFC debut, but I think this was your best performance to date.
Yeah, for sure. I got a lot of really positive feedback, more than I thought I would, and it's kind of one of those things where I told you so as far as the weight drop went, and it's just one of those things, with my team and we say we're going to do something and we always do it. And that's just kind of the way it is for us.
So this fight is on May 4th, like I mentioned off the top. Right now we're recording this. It's about April 8th. When did you find out about this fight? Because it seemed like this happened quite quickly.
We found out, I want to say almost a week now. It's been about a week. Yeah, so fairly recent.
First time going to Canada?
Yeah, for sure. First time going to Canada. I have never been, but I've seen pictures and it's beautiful. So I'm actually really looking forward to go.
Now, I got to ask this. Because you're from New Orleans, do you speak any French at all, or is it just English?
My dad speaks a little bit of Cajun French. My grandmother's mom, so my great-grandma, was from France, and she was fluent in French. And I guess it's weird because it's one of those things where they just didn't really pass it down too much. I mean, your parents kind of spoke it to you a little bit, just here and there, maybe if they were fussing at you or something like that. But I don't know. I guess they really wanted to Americanize themselves and didn't pass it down. But yeah, I mean, my grandfather, grandmother, and my great-grandparents all spoke French. So.
Well, I was going to say, the reason I bring it up is because in Ottawa, they speak a lot of French because they're so close to the Quebec border. And actually, I used to live there, and I knew firsthand because I used to work at a deli. This was years ago, and people would only speak French to me. It's crazy. You'd live in this, English-speaking country, but it was a lot of French. So I don't think you'll run into that because I think, as far as I know, the fight's at the Canadian Tire Center, which actually is in Canada, which is like 40 minutes outside of downtown. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No, I'm not familiar with Canada at all. So this will be a first for everything for me.
Yeah, it should be great. Let's talk about Sarah Moras, though. She's obviously a fellow Ultimate Fighter alum. What do you know about her? How do you feel like you match up against her?
I think this is going to be a great fight. It's a really good matchup for us. And I mean, she's got a little bit of everything. She's very heavy on the feet, and she's got a great ground game from what I've seen so far. She's very much a jiu-jitsu girl. She plays a lot of high guard stuff, but, pretty well-rounded. So. And
train at a great camp. We've talked about this before, Fortis MMA. It's really the camp of all camps right now. You guys have just had so many impressive victories. Who have you been training with for this camp? Anyone different, or is it business as usual?
It's business as usual. We have someone coming in that's going to be doing a camp with us at Fortis and possibly stay for the long road. So I'm really excited about that. I pick her up tomorrow from the airport. I mean, I just have so many bodies. I mean, we have a lot of 35ers there, and a lot of those guys are tough wrestlers. They're just grinders, So, I mean, I can't ask for a better gym, camp, training partner than where I'm at now. I mean, it's just been a perfect setup. I feel almost spoiled.
Now, are you allowed to reveal who's coming into train, or is this like top secret?
It's not top secret. I'm pretty sure she's kind of like mentioned to a few people or not. But yeah, Bea Malecki is going to be coming in and she's going to be training with us. So we trained together on the show. She was one of my training partners. She's really fun to train with. Great striking, great stand up, very long. So I'm excited to have her. Yeah.
I think that's very cool. What about the weight cut? Got to ask. I'm sure as soon as you found out about the fight, that process probably was already starting.
Yeah, the process is already starting, and now that we've already gotten like that first dip out of the way, it's not as extreme as you would think. So, I'm stuck up with my road miles, my running, and you know, I'm working with the PI again, and they're always fun to work with. They're great. They're a good team. But we're right on track. We're right where we need to be, and you know, I'm just all we're doing is really just prepping. So
That's great. What about you know, like is there something you miss during camp that you can't eat? Everyone has their vice, right?
well, I mean, I've just been on such a strict, you know, I've just been doing really well with my diet so far and training, that I'm able to have a little bit of something here and there. You know, not too much, not overboard, but there's nothing I'm really craving right now. I'm just really excited to be able to jump back in the cage. I mean, I don't even really care about food right now. You know, I've been eating spinach and fish for so long. It's kind of just a thing. But yeah, maybe I'll go home for a day or two after. I'll get myself a little po' boy, or, you know, but pizza's always on that list. You know, I don't know. I don't think I've ever met someone who didn't crave.
Yeah, I think there's something seriously wrong with someone if they don't like pizza. I mean, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
there's like a major like turn off if someone's like, I hate pizza. Like, oh my gosh, we can't be friends.
Now, who's going to be in your corner for this fight? I imagine Safe's one of them. Who else is going to be in
Yeah.
there?
Coach Safe's gonna be there. Nathan, my kickboxing coach, and Sean Gayton. So all three guys that I had last camp that are gonna be there that I work with extensively, and so I always love having my coach from back home there, Sean. He's always been a really big asset to the team. So I'm excited.
Finishes seem to be your thing. Is that what we're going to see here on May 4th? Because you've been making a habit of it lately.
Yeah, I mean, knock on wood, of course. I mean, like I said, I mean, you always want that finish, but it's MMA fight's so unpredictable. You know, you can never really guess what's going to happen, when's going to happen. Even if you train for it religiously over and over again, I mean, there's just so many variables in a fight. But of course, I mean, I'm always looking for that finish. It's one of my favorite things to do. So, yeah, that would be awesome.
What do you like doing, you know, as far as, I mean, you know, you got training going on, you're really busy, obviously. What about downtime? What do you like doing, you know, to kind of take your mind off things during camp right now?
I like to mix it up a little bit. I mean, we get our off days. I mean, my true off day is a Sunday, but I still do a little something like active recovery. My downtime is yoga. I mean, I've really been getting into yoga lately. I like rock climbing. I like to go to Summit. And then I like to go to White Rock, and, you know, it's kind of a place to hike with my dog, and I let her get in the water and all that stuff. So that's really, you know, that's been my downtime, but within camp, you know. So outside of camp, it kind of changes up a little bit, of course, but, you know, you kind of have these like limitations when you're in camp, and being outside, being with my dog and, you know, my friends is kind of like a normal thing for me.
Well, I was going to say that all sounds pretty awesome, especially the hiking. And you guys get good weather year round in Texas, so it's pretty nice, right?
Yeah, well, it's been a little up and down lately. It's been a little bipolar, the weather, but today's actually a really beautiful day. So I've been outside a little bit today in between training. So
Okay. Well, what would you consider cold? Like, do you have to wear a sweater or like a full on jacket? What would? Because I got to know these things. I'm Canadian. It gets pretty cold up here.
yeah, I mean, I don't really know what it's like for you guys.
In
I've
certain
never really
areas,
been
I
in
should
that kind of
mention.
cold.
Yeah, it's certain
And
areas.
one of my teammates was like, yeah, it's gonna be cold over there. So I went ahead and like logged in onto the weather app, and it was like 30 degrees, feels like 24 or something like that. But I'm just so used to like that southern like humidity where it's like it's wet and cold, and it's like bone chilling. It's just a different kind of cold, because I've been to Seattle, and Seattle's pretty cold, you know, but it's like it's just different. There's something about the weather in Seattle that's just really different than that southern cold. The humidity, the humid, it's just something about it. It's just so different.
What's crazy is if you would have gone, if this card was like a month later, the weather would be amazing. It gets so hot and humid in the summer in Ottawa. It's crazy. And it's weird because like it's only 5 hours away from Toronto, but Toronto doesn't get as hot as Ottawa does in the summer. It's weird.
That's crazy. It's weird how that works.
Yeah. No, it is. There you go. Playing a little tour guide here in this interview. But Macy, always appreciate the time. It's great catching up with you. Just remind people where they can find you on social media. And if you have any sponsors or shout outs, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so you guys can find me on Twitter at Macy_Chiasson, and you can also find me on Instagram at MMA_NOLA. So that's MMA_NOLA. Shout out to my teammates at Fortis MMA, Miles Johns, Jeff Neal, Alonzo Mainfield, Ryan Span's got a fight coming up in Brazil on May 11th, so shout out to him. Stephen Ocho Peterson. Bea Malecki, I'm picking her up tomorrow. Shout out to her. Extreme Studio Performance, my strength and conditioning coach, and Dallas Strength and Conditioning. I mean, I could go on for days with the list of people that, really support me and what I do. And it's just amazing to be a part of such an amazing team here in Dallas. I mean, I like I said, I almost feel so spoiled being here. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunities that you've given me as far as interviews go and shout outs. So I just want to say thank you.